This is the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Weekly Rewind, where we look back at the previous week's stories. Presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky.
When it comes to spreading good news about Kentucky, nobody likes doing it more than me. Hi everybody, Dave Baker here. Citizens Bank of Kentucky has local service with today's technology. That's why you'll see friends and neighbors working in our bank, people who know what your dreams are and can help you make them come true. A bank that actually knows your name. Now that's different. Citizens Bank of Kentucky, we want to be your bank, driving forward to save you time. That's Citizens Bank of Kentucky, member FDIC.
In 1985, Whitley County, led by Hope Peace, defeated Atherton 38-37 in the Kentucky High School Athletic Association Sweet 16 title game to claim the school's first state championship. However, Peace wasn't a one-woman show. Tammy Golden, Melissa Parton, and Connie Brock joined Peace on the Sweet 16 All-Tournament team. A 5'9" junior, Peace made third-team All-State that year, with Brock, Golden, and Parton being selected All-State Honorable Mention. After her high school days were over, she took her game to Cumberland College, now the University of the Cumberlands, where she compiled some impressive stats. Peace is the second all-time leading scorer, with 1,662 points. She led the Lady Indians in rebounding and field goal percentage in the 1987-88 season and was the leading scorer in her junior and senior seasons. She also scored Cumberland's first triple-double. In addition, Hope was named an NAIA All-American for her efforts. She also holds the distinction of being the first person to score a point in the O. Wayne Rollins Center. To learn more about Hope Peace and other athletes who have shaped the landscape of sports in the mountains, visit the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page or stop by and see them sometime. In Wayland, this has been your Mountain Sports Memory, presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Last week, we remembered Lone Jack High School. It is located a few miles from Pineville in Bell County. They played in the 13th region before merging with Bell County in 1984. We have previously highlighted Lone Jack stars Bobby Slusher and Larry Percival, both of whom played at the University of Kentucky. Today, we are going to spotlight a player who donned the orange and white at the University of Tennessee. Rodney Woods, a second-team All-State player in 1971, was so good he became a starting guard for Coach Ray Mears and the University of Tennessee, a squad that featured The Bernie and Ernie Show, starring Bernard King and Ernie Grunfeld in the early 1970s. Playing at the University of Tennessee from 1972 through 1975, Woods later became a high school basketball coach. His skills on the court as a player spilled over into his coaching career, having coached at Corbin and Wayne County in Kentucky, plus a stint at Powell Valley High School in Tennessee where he guided them to a Tennessee State runner-up. He has over 35 years in coaching, including a brief retirement. Coach Woods entered the 2017-2018 season with 699 wins under his belt, ranking 8th in Kentucky High School Athletic Association history for boys basketball. To learn more about Rodney Woods and other athletes who have shaped the landscape of high school sports in the mountains, visit the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page or stop by and see them sometime in Wayland. This has been your Mountain Sports Hall of Fame memory, presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Today, we begin a three-part series as we remember legendary broadcaster Jim Fife, who announced 15th Region Sports for WSIP Radio in Paintsville for years before moving south to be the voice of Auburn University. There, he covered football and basketball games for 22 years, beginning in 1981. Two of the more notable Auburn stars he covered were Charles Barkley and Bo Jackson. During basketball games, Fife was known to say hello to Auburn players' hometown following a slam dunk. According to Fife, this tradition started after Charles Barkley asked him to say hello to all of the people in Leeds, Alabama, Barkley's hometown. Fife told Barkley that he would have to dunk the ball for him to do that. Barkley complied, and Fife responded with, "Hello, Leeds, Alabama," and thus began a tradition that Fife continued throughout his years behind the Auburn microphone. Fife was a pioneer in sports talk radio in Alabama, hosting Tiger Talk. One of the first such shows took place in Montgomery in the 1970s. For several years, he worked football games with former Heisman Trophy winner Pat Sullivan as the color commentator. Fife would end every broadcast by saying, "My time's up. I thank you for yours." Well, our time is up as well. Tomorrow, we will continue our look at the career of legendary broadcaster Jim Fife. To learn more about Jim 5 and other individuals who have shaped the landscape of high school sports in the mountains, visit the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page or stop by and see them sometime. In Wayland, this has been your Mountain Sports Memory, presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Yesterday, we began a three-part series remembering legendary broadcaster Jim 5, who announced 15th Region Sports for WSIP Radio in Paintsville for years before moving south to be the voice of Auburn University. 5 was also the play-by-play announcer for the USFL's Birmingham Stallions. He was the voice of the Birmingham Steel Dogs and Columbus War Dogs of the Arena Football League. He was also the public address announcer for Talladega Super Speedway for 20 years and was associated with the Blue-Gray Football Classic. 5 was named Alabama Sportscaster of the Year 9 times during his career. On May 14, 2003, 5 attended an Auburn alumni meeting in Prattville, Alabama, where he gave a speech opening for Auburn head football coach Tommy Tuberville. Shortly after arriving home, he complained of a headache to his wife, Rose, and eventually collapsed. He was rushed by ambulance to Montgomery's Jackson Hospital, where he was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm. 5 died the following day. Following the announcement of his death, many sports talk shows and Alabama TV newscasts played some of his most notable calls. He was posthumously inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 2005. His signature touchdown Auburn call was beloved by Auburn fans and has been emulated by many other broadcasters. A native of Johnson County, 5 was 57. To learn more about Jim 5 and other individuals who have shaped the landscape of high school sports in the mountains, visit the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page or stop by and see them sometime. In Wayland, this has been your Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Memory, presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Today, we conclude a 3-part series remembering legendary broadcaster Jim 5, who announced 15th Region Sports for WSIP Radio in Paintsville for years before moving south to be the voice of Auburn University. 5 was the play-by-play voice for Auburn football and men's basketball. In addition, he worked in the USFL and Arena Football League. 5 was also the public address announcer for Talladega Super Speedway. His accolades include being named Alabama Sportscaster of the Year, and he received numerous honors from groups and organizations from all across Alabama. He had the fortune of covering Auburn greats Bo Jackson and Charles Barkley, and worked alongside several former Auburn legends, including Heisman Trophy winner Pat Sullivan. This year, May 15th, marks the 15th anniversary of his passing. Following the announcement of his death in 2003, sports talk shows and Alabama TV newscasts played some of his most notable calls and allowed fans and colleagues of 5 to share some of their favorite stories and voice grief over the loss. His signature touchdown Auburn call was beloved by Auburn fans and has been emulated by many other broadcasters. A native of Johnson County, Jim 5 was 57 years old. To learn more about Jim 5 and other individuals who have shaped the landscape of high school sports in the mountains, visit the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page or stop by and see them sometime. In Wayland, this has been your Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Memory, presented by Citizens Bank of Kentucky. That will do it for this week's Weekly Rewind. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to check us out on Facebook at the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame Facebook page. Also, EKY Sports on Facebook. And once again, thank you to our sponsor, Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Until next week, so long.